Hi, I'm Claire from Peopletopia. We work with a number of organisations to help them to develop their managers and their leaders into new roles. I'm often asked on these courses that we run, how do I know how to become a leader? We find that there's a lot of investment in first-line managers in terms of HR law, delegation type training, but not a great deal to support people in understanding what will make them appear as a leader to others. So I'm going to tell you about a really simple way to start to build a plan to develop your leadership style. I think that the best place to start is to think about what kind of leader do you want to be. And again, knowing where to start with that can be quite confusing. So think about leaders that you've had and leaders that you've admired. What was it about them that you admired so much? If they were perhaps a manager or a leader that you've had, was it the way that they gave you feedback? Was it the way that they challenged you? Was it the way that they brought the team together? What was it that they did that made them seem a great leader to you? As much as you can, try to narrow that down into specific traits and behaviours and attributes. You can also look at people in the public eye. It doesn't have to be someone that you've worked with personally. There may be some great historical figure or a current leader of business that you really admire. Think about what is it that's inspiring about what they do, and what are the behaviours and the traits that they demonstrate that stand them out as a leader. Again, try and narrow this down into specific behaviours as much as possible, because this is going to give you a plan for becoming a leader. Let me give you an example. Perhaps I decide that I admire Richard Branson and his leadership style. I need to think about what it is that I admire about him. Is it the way that he communicates with people? He challenges the norm. He walks the talk. He talks about people being his most important asset, and he appears at his employees' awards ceremonies. So he really does invest in his people. If I start to think about him as a leader, I can start to identify some key traits that he has that will help me to become that kind of leader. So you need to complete this exercise for leaders you've known personally and leaders you've admired from afar. Come up with your list of traits and attributes that will give you your personal leadership vision, your outline of what a leader looks like to you. From that, you can then start to assess your own skills. Look at that list of traits, behaviours and skills and rate yourself. How well do I communicate with my people? Am I afraid to challenge the norm, or am I brave in doing that? You can also ask other people for feedback, and you can treat it a bit like a 360-degree feedback exercise where you ask other people to rate your skills. Once you have that information, then the real work starts, because that's when you need to sit down and start to think about, how do I develop these specific traits? Again, try and have a clear picture in your mind of the kind of leader that you want to be, the way that you stand, the way that you speak, the way that you communicate. And when it comes to your personal development and putting together a personal development plan, don't think that development has to always be about training courses. There are all sorts of things that you can do to enhance and grow your skills. It might be joining a forum, a committee, volunteering for a charity. It can be getting a mentor. It can be reading publications, watching documentaries and films. There are all sorts of ways that you can choose to learn. So try not to limit yourself to kind of official training courses. Your learning goes much, much beyond that. What you need to do from there on in is to keep that plan to hand, keep that personal leadership vision close at hand, and keep referring back to it. Keep checking your progress and measuring your success. It's the first step on a long journey to becoming a great leader. But remember, until you have that goal in mind, how on earth do you know how you're going to get there if you don't know where it is that you're going? If you'd like to find out more about what Peopletopia do, or you'd like Peopletopia to help you with your leadership questions and training, please do get in touch with us. Thank you very much.